With the upcoming RLCS 2026 season upon us, a lot of teams have been formed. Now, some are good, some bad. I'm here to explain which ones are which. Because some teams are actually really bloody good, and some teams are kind of shit. Alright, so we're going to do the 5 teams from NA, 5 teams from EU, and yeah, cheeky tier list. You know the drill. It'll be great. I mean, they just won Worlds. What do you want me to say? I mean, they're good. But to get more specific with my thoughts, I mean, they're obviously stupidly good at the game. But my one concern is that their Worlds form was just a peak. If you look at how they played at like LANs last season, they really weren't. I mean, they still got top 5 LANs. I mean, well, with the exception of EWC, they play Vitality, who, I mean, Atomic just cannot beat Monkey Moon to save his life. I mean, it happens. Happens to the best of us, boss. I mean, yeah. But I'm worried it's just a peak, and I'm worried they may get complacent after winning Worlds. But for a roster that's already broken so many traditions, and considering that is a tradition of Worlds winning teams that they get complacent, and this team is the tradition breaker, then I could see this team going on to do good things. I mean, they won't drop out of NA top 2 all season, and honestly doubt they'll drop out of NA top 1. But I don't know if they'll win LANs. I think they can. I'm not sure they will. But hey, that remains to be seen. So with NRG, it shouldn't really be a question of where they sit. It's an obvious S tier. Yeah, the logo's kind of big because when I got it from Wikipedia, it was beyond fucked. I mean, oh well. All the other logos look nice. Well, so KC lost their best player. Happens. Also, I'm aware it's less yellow now. I changed my lighting and it's a different time of day. So, yeah. They lost their best player, but I think Juicy's actually a pretty adequate replacement for what they're trying to do. I mean, I think Atto is going to take a role of being kind of what Rally was previously, as in the most mechanical player, doing all stuff. If it makes any sense, I'm always going to compare them to 2024 Casey when they had Rise. I mean, I think Juicy's more mechanical than Rise, but he plays more similarly to Rise than he does to Drally, in my opinion. On the real, though, one concern I do have with this team is that Juicy seems to be unable to win anything that even resembles a regional, as we can see with with Gentleman's failure to win the EU LCQ. And I mean, this team wins a lot of regionals. So, I mean, I would genuinely be surprised if they don't. But hey, it's kind of like, I mean, he's Juicy. He famously just does not win regionals. He's won a major. I know regionals the only player to do so. I mean, yeah, happens, I guess. But yeah, this team will be good though, and I really do think that they. If I'm being honest, I have them winning the Copenhagen Major, the Studio LAN. And I think they're going to be disgusting good. I think they're really underrated because Atto and Vatera were really good at Worlds. I feel like the failings of Casey mainly came down to Drally not playing particularly well. And usually was, I mean, split one mates, I mean, yeah. But hey, split 2 mates with Eugen, really good. Like, he wasn't his best at LCQ, but no one on the team was. And yeah, I think this team will be good. Alright, so back to our tier list now. We have KC, and yeah, they're going to get S tier. They're really good. And I think they're going to win the LAN. And yeah, it's simple as that, really. They're good. Moving on to our next team, Shopify Rebellion. Shopify Rebellion is a first killer team. And first killer teams have historically had about as much consistency as trying to train cats. Now, this team has, in theory, made a talent upgrade. I do think Kofa is the better Rocket League player than Chronic. But in terms of playstyle-wise, they have just replaced their most defensive player, and essentially the only defensive player on the entire team from Ultimates last season, with a demo-chasing, very low defensive player in Kofa. Now, this worries me, because I think, and I thought for a long time, that First Kill would do his best if he copied the Vatera handbook and just sat in there, waited for waited for opportunities on the other side of the pitch, and came up and did his thing with his amazing mechanics. Now, of course, everyone on the team is stupidly mechanical. You got First Killer, LJ, Kofa. Stupidly mechanical team, yeah, of course. But if it goes like past First Killer teams, LJ is getting scapegoated the fuck out of, and that is kind of sad because how fucking crazy he was when he was on the space station. My good friend Martin knows what I'm talking about. And yeah, he's going to be disappointed. And wait till the SSG section, buddy, you're gonna hate that shit. But no, the team worries me, basically. To more neatly elaborate on my thoughts on this team, Chronic was just massively helpful defensively, and I feel like if we look at the past here, we can kind of see the historic precedent. If we look back to 2024 Gen G, when they added First Killer, they were replacing a very defensive player in Nolly to get him, and in exchange for that, because First Killer was playing a very offensive style for that Gen G team, Chronic, who previously was not doing, as in he wasn't doing as much defense as he was made to on the 2024 Gen G team, which I think, wasn't great for him. I don't think he was very good in that role defensively that season, but this season, this last season, 2024 season, I feel like he kind of settled into it more and became a really good defensive player who definitely had his moments on offense as well, and that was very good of him. And honestly, you can go back and forth on whether him or LJ was better this season. If I'm being honest, I go Chronic. But I feel like LJ has more potential, and with the right playstyle around him, he could definitely make it work. Kofa did play on a very defensive SSG team, but I feel like that was mostly Scribbles and Reveal, who were doing the bulk of that defense. I mean, his role was kind of setting him up offensively with his demos, and using his very good mechanics in order to do stuff on offense as well. I mean, if they can finally do the more defensive thing of having, in my opinion, the best choice of first skiller, sitting back, play more defensively, then they can honestly be good. They can be really good. And I feel like that'll be the best of that team. And if not, then I feel like it's just going to be the Ultimates again. Probably not going to win lands. But, hey, they could be slightly better than this 2025 Ultimates. Or they could be slightly worse. It could really go either way. And one more thing, I do want to address the people who are saying, "Oh, but Violent Panda's going to fix first skill." Well, shut up. It's kind of fucking insane to me how people still consider that a valid opinion in the year of our Lord 2025, when that exact same sentiment has repeated with the likes of Jack, Sad Junior, Illusion, Chrome, all these motherfuckers. People say, "Oh, they're going to bring out the best in FK." Well, it hasn't fucking happened yet. I mean, with Jack, the only thing they brought out of him was apparently precedented to lose to fucking Oceania at Worlds whenever it was convenient, and it was just a mess. And like Sad Junior, yes, it was pretty good at Birmingham, but other than that, it was a bit of a strange season for them, including missing top 8 in disastrous fashion at the Raleigh Major. To be fair, that was really fucking funny. Please go and rewatch the Gentleman series. It is so fun. I know, even if you've already watched it, even if you know what happens, just watch it again. It's a good laugh. I'm sorry to all the Ultimates fans, but that shit was so funny. Dude, they blew that. They can't. They actually just fucking blew that lead in regulation. I can't, man. Anyway, on to the tier list. Anyway, so here we are at our tier list. Now, with Shopify, I would give them S, but I'm still just worried about how the fact that this is a first killer team is going to impact it. So, we're going to go with a cheeky A tier. Yeah, you really thought I was going to beat it. Now, they'll be good. They'll be good. I have faith. They'll do something cool. I like Violent Panda as coach. I do. I feel like he did a great job meshing the playstyles of Dignitas last season, and I mean, you can put that on Jack leadership, but Jack leadership can't be an Oceanic team, apparently, and Violent Panda can. So, I mean, that just settles that debate, really. Oh, sorry. You see if I've caught me at a bad time. I'm just taking a look at the list of reasons Exotic should still be on Vitality. There are none. It's blank. Why is he on this team? No, seriously though, why the fuck is Exotic even on this team? I mean, like, when the entire Vitality fanbase last season was just fucking complaining that Monkey Moon and Exotic were too old to do anything effective, then why the fuck are they so complacent with just letting him stay on the team when he was worse than Monkey Moon for most of the season? Granted, it wasn't so worse to a point where it really makes much of a difference between which new kick, but still, like, where the fuck's your drive to be better as a team? Like, I mean, they were so just underwhelming and disappointing, and yes, I do believe it's how partially the function from swapping out fundamentally or taking the BDS core of last season, swapping out Drally for Zen. I do think it changes that came with Drally and Zen's respective playstyles did impact the team. But hey, I mean, I still think that can be fixed, like with a roster change. And they tried to do that, but they still just kept Exotic, who was still so fucking mediocre, except for a single series last season where he was just like okay. And well, okay, no, against NIP last season, he was actually pretty good at Worlds. But it's fucking Redos in 2025. Like, you get your act together. What the fuck? And Stizzy is just such a weird pickup to me. Like, okay, I guess. I'd just rather have seen them pick up someone more like akin to, dare I say, Alpha 54. I mean, don't mean actually pick up Alpha 54. I mean someone who plays like Alpha 54. Because I think Zen works best when he's kind of that second punch of the offense. Like, someone else is coming in and smashing, like, kind of, breaking up the offense to do great things. So Zen can come and use his mechanics with space and do his thing. But no one was doing that for him last season, and Alpha was shit the season before that. And believe it or not, that's the exact same way Stizzy operates. He also functions best when someone's like just softening up the defense for him, which is kind of what Jack was doing him for last season on Dig. I mean, and now you're expecting him to do it for each other. When I don't think when Stizzy's honestly just bad at doing that, and then just wasn't doing it last season. I think that's kind of one of the reasons they failed, because he expected Monkey Moon or Exotic to come up and support him on offense more, which really isn't what any of them are good at either of them are good at in 2025. So yeah, it's just it's a strange team that I really don't like. I don't like this move, and if I'm being honest, my best comparison on how I feel about the team is 2024 Gen G, which I know is the second time I bring it up in 2 sections. That's how much I care about this 2024 Gen G team, because A, it was really fucking funny watching their downfall, and B, I was a hater from the start. But this team, I feel like they'll win some series just based on the talent on the team. And yes, Zen and Stizzy, both talented, and Exotic is fine for now. But when teams will start getting better, start like clicking more, they'll start to fall off majorly, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this team. I'm watching you. I'm fucking Sergeant Dogs here. And we got Team Vitality Morgan. I don't fucking know where I'm going with this. And now we have Vitality, who, if I'm being honest, as I said, I do not like this team. I have bad feelings about this team. I don't like the change they made. Then again, I have a bit of a bias towards Monkey Moon, to be fair. But that does not mean I cannot have an unbiased and nuanced take about Monkey Moon and his former team. And I think they're going to be bad, or at least not at first. They'll win a I don't fucking know, actually. They didn't win one last season, and then by the end of the season, anyone was winning regionals. Like, Yoris and Stizzy were winning regionals. Like, Oli was winning regionals. Basically, everyone who was on 22-23 Oxygen full split was winning a fucking regional and Carmine Core. So, yeah, you can see why I have my doubts, and this team wasn't able to do it. So, yeah, I'm fucking watching you. You're going at bottom of A tier. If I put an else in A tier, they're going to go right between here, or maybe just better than Shopify. I don't fucking know. I'm watching you. So now I have Space Station Gaming, and I confess, my hands are slightly tied here, as one of my closest friends in this space is a man who glazes SSG so hard that he outglazes people who actually paid to glaze them. And Reveal follows me on Twitter, and I'd like to keep it that way. So, I confess, the original version of this section did have several slightly philanderous things said about one of the players on this prospective roster, comparing his ability to play the game to a donkey on several illegal substances whilst blind. So, but in order to remain fair and not try and lie, whilst also keeping my Twitter followership from Reveal, and B, my friendship with one of my biggest friends in the space, I'm going to refrain from talking about that certain player who shall not be named in this section, for the sake of fairness. My thoughts on this new SSG team, to go into more detail, I really like the way each player kind of fits into this team. You got Reveal, who I think was a great support player for SSG last season. His main job was, I guess, to kind of set up, at first Frosty and then later Gopher in the team's various systems, and I think he did an effective job doing that. I like the way that I think he's a very adaptive, creative player with the ball and like, how he does his like passing and well, just how he operates really. And Chronic, I think defensively, as I mentioned earlier, he's very good. As I mentioned in my section on Shopify Rebellion, Chronic, very effective player, like defensively and all that. But back before their first killer, Chronic, I do think Chronic still has pretty good. It's kind of weird because we haven't seen the more mechanical side of Chronic in a while. Going with teammates like First Killer and LJ, who are both like peak mechanically better than him, it kind of just made him a bit redundant, I think. But with Chronic, if he can regain that mechanical form, I think it'll be a great piece to put alongside Reveal. I think how Chronic plays is kind of going to depend on how he who shall not be named plays, because I feel like he who shall not be named, he could both be playing a more offensive style and a more defensive style. I really don't know, and I feel like whatever he doesn't do, Chronic will do, because I feel like Chronic is a more adaptive player than he who shall not be named, and I don't know really. I think this team can be good. It really just depends on he who shall not be named in order to bolster or limit them. That's just right how I feel about the team. And I think they can be good, and I think they should be NA. They could be NA3, they could be NA4. I think really could go either way between this team and the next NA team we'll be talking about. So yeah, onto the tier list. So now we have SSG on the tier list, of course, naturally, and I don't know. I feel like I'm going to give them a low B tier because I feel like their peak is quite. Their floor, in my opinion, is a little concerningly low, and the peak is actually pretty high. It could be pretty scary. They could honestly be like a really strong third NA team. I don't see them usurping either NRG or Shopify, but I can definitely see them being closer to a Shopify or an NRG than either other two NA teams here. So yeah, B tier, but I'm thinking a slight low B tier. Hello? You may be wondering why I look like this. Well, if I'm being honest, I'm playing on the fact that I have a British accent and I have this hat. I can make a Sherlock Holmes joke. But as the great Sherlock Holmes did, I'm doing a little bit of an investigation of my own into a case of fraud. Well, not just fraud, but one fraud in particular. Nassim Nas Bali has been on Fraud Watch for a very long time, dating back to SK Gaming, where he failed to make a regional with a man who'd later go on to make top 3 with Growly and Rezi. I mean, how the fuck does that happen? Then on M80, they were the Swiss Merchants McGee until the second round into quarterfinals when any fucking plumber who made it there could beat them apparently. And then on NIP with Itachi and Oski, they didn't do shit. But somehow I took fucking Redosin being added to the team to replace Itachi, the European MVP from last season, which was fraudulent as fuck, but let's not get into that. To fucking make it to Worlds and actually play really fucking well? I mean, what the fuck? But now he's on Gentlemates with his, maintaining Oski as a teammate and new teammate Archie. And he's probably their best player. I don't fucking know either, guys. I can't make this shit up. So to get into this Gentlemates team, we have to look at all the key components. I mean, first of all, we have Oski, who's, his teams have historically always been good, and I have absolutely no form of bias towards at all. Yeah. And then we have Archie, who, I mean, for about the 6 millionth time is teaming with someone he's already teamed with before. Seriously, look into that. It's really funny. Before Nas, the last new teammate he had was Joyo, and literally everyone they added to their roster, the Oxygen Core's roster in 2025 was a fucking play he played before, It's fucking crazy, bro. Genuinely insane. This man just keeps reusing teammates like there's no tomorrow. Someone needs to stop him, man. Like at this point, like, this is like it's like cronyism, really. How he only teams with his like mates. Cronyism is like nepotism, but it's just for your mates instead of your family members. And they say you don't learn anything on this channel, do you? I'm actually about to start teaching people slurs, so yeah, that'll be good. But that'll come video 2. For now, we'll just have to stick with Rocket League. Yeah, Archie, very good defensively. I feel like he's just kind of a better Radosin. I mean, not exactly, but for what kind of what he'll be doing for his team, I see it. I mean, Archie, like, he has a higher peak. I reckon he just seems like a fun guy to play with, I reckon. I don't know, of course, he could be horrible, but he keeps getting onto decent teams. He seems to be a vibes merchant. I mean, look at GK last season. I mean, that team was just vibes and they just won. It was like friendship ball at its best. I mean, you have Nas, who's really just... watch Nas replay. He's just really fucking good, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Oski just hit a nice shot. Yeah. I actually met Oski and Archie once at London 3 2024 Major 2. I got my pitch sticker on Oski, but for privacy reasons. And by that I mean it's a really terrible photo, so I'm not going to show it. But yeah, I met them. They seem like chill guys, and of course that 5-second interaction is basically all you need to know, really. Yeah, Nas, he's just fucking good, man. He's like positioning, his awareness and all that. There's a reason he's probably the best on the team. This team gives me major Team Liquid vibes. And if you didn't pick up from the bit just now, I fucking like Team Liquid. That team is my favourite roster of all time. Banger of a team. Oh man, I should really just make this Team Liquid retrospective and just start lying about all the things that went wrong so I can start gaslighting people. God, I should really start doing that, man. I don't know why I'm doing this whole video thing. Anyway, but yeah, this team will be really good, honestly. And moving on to our tier list now. I have maybe quite high placement, some would think, but hey, I think they'll be good. Okay, so now we have the cheeky gentlemates, and as I said, I think they're going to be good. Top of 8 here. And now, I don't really have anything more to say here, so now we move on to our next team, the Genius G's. These cunts, I mean, who else could I be referring to? G is part of the Optic lineage, which is basically everything you need to know. And Optic Core have been a staple of mediocrity in the RLCS, practically just a third Oceanic team, but with the upcoming season, I mean, well, they say they removed OC2, but did they really? I mean, in 7 LAN appearances, including Gamers Day 2023, what the fuck am I going on about? 2023, they failed to make top 8 a single time. In fucking 7 appearances, multiple as NA3. And now they've added the guy who was considered about on par with one of his teammates on his last team, and that teammate he was on par with, Atomic, is now teaming with fucking Tox. I mean, you just want to staple in mediocrity. Even look at this team. This team just fucking bores me, man. Like, I mean, after adding Justin, it looked good for maybe a regional, but this fucking just staple of just pace and mediocrity that is the fucking Gen G lineup really pissed me off, man. Like, what do you mean this is still a top NA team? To be fair, that is a really nice shot from Justin I had forgotten about. But Justin's like the most inspiring member of this team, but now you have fucking Rise, who has like fall from grace. It's a way of, I don't know, it's like telling a man who has been killed, it'll be better tomorrow. I don't fucking know. I'm bad at this sort of thing. But anyway, this team is just mediocre and boring. Like, Rise has a more demo-heavy style, which I guess is a slight change to Cheese. It's kind of like if Rattles was back on the team, really, because it was slightly better mechanics. I don't hear any Rattles fans in the comments going, Rattles actually had decent mechanics by the time he was out. No, fuck, he didn't. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I have a bit of a vendetta against Rattles, but actually Rattles fans are mostly kind of chill. They kind of accepted that he was a bit shit by the end, which, I mean, is fair enough to them. Fair play to him. I have to respect that. I could never. I'd just glaze him to the day I die if I was a fan, but he has been blocked on Twitter, so... I mean, if he wants compliments, he can unblock me. Anyway, oh Christ, that sounded a bit like I was being a bit annoying there. Oh well. Anyway, I think Rise is kind of just mediocre. I mean, they'll be at lands, which is kind of bad for NA since they haven't made top 8 ever. Magic Bearer's riding high on Glaze Rattles gave him 3 years ago, and that's the only reason he has a career. And Justin's like the best player, but how long is he going to still be good for? I mean, people just call that Monkey Moon wash, and Justin's older than Monkey Moon, so I mean, I don't know. This team is mid and shit and bores me to tears. On to the tier list where I'll give them, I don't fucking know, so something bad probably. And as court ordered, we have something bad with Gen G, a fucking stinky team that deserves high C tier. I don't actually know, to be honest. Like, yeah, fuck it, C tier, because I feel like they could be as, because they're really competing with Gen G, SSG rather. Fuck me, competing with SSG for that second, for the third NA spot, and I think peak SSG is definitely better than this Gen G team, but like, sadly I do see SSG's floor is quite low, so I could see Gen G being better, because such I hate to say it, Rise is a, well, what, I don't even know anymore. He was kind of consistent. I watched decent but Mina, to be fair. He was like okay, and he's probably slightly better than Cheese, I guess. So yeah, that'll do it. He's okay. The team is alright. GK last season were a team that, well, it was really quite easy to explain why they were doing so well, as is with a lot of teams. But GK in particular, I found particularly easy. It was simple. Dark magic. The only reason this team could ever do anything was due to the soul-selling nature that they seemed to implement. At first, it was presumably Nick's soul to get him to Birmingham, but past that point, I don't fucking know. And sadly, I think it might have been Joyo's soul or soul next game EWC in Worlds, because he hasn't been as good as he was individually ever since they got rid of Nick, which is presumably the soul selling bit. Anyway, Joyo was, I thought, their best player individually, split 2 of 2025, but I think he was adapted by both Archie and Oli in EWC and Worlds. And talking about the other players, Sego had a really poor LCQ, which kind of let NIP into Worlds, which, I mean, happens, I guess. But it's just not a great sign, especially because I didn't think, like, looking back, I don't think he was too insanely insane. Split 2. He had a good rally, but I think that was slightly due to, like, Eugen's normal output being slightly limited by probably nerves. I don't know for sure, though. If I had to guess, that's what it was. Anyway. So, what the fuck am I saying? Okay, no, I'm getting somewhere with this. Just let me have a... Bloody hell, that was a near shot. Oh yeah, I remember this, but he just couldn't shoot for shit, but that was kind of funny. Anyway. So, and the thing is with Jack, right? Apparently Jack. I think both Jack and Seiko work best when they can have someone really mechanical on their team. Like, normally Joy would be the man for the job, but he hasn't really been that guy mechanically in like a while, in my opinion. Like, he hasn't been hitting the crazy shots against anyone except plumbers recently. He's kind of just gone. He's been someone who's kind of been hurt by like the defensive like evolutions the meta has made in the last few seasons. We're just kind of like a normal guy now. I'm not as crazy mechanical as some others, and I think that'll hurt the team. They have like good fundamentals though. Seiko and Jack are both really good fundamental players. So I don't know. I think this will be a bit of a gatekeeper team, but I am slightly worried it'll be the big disappointment of the season. But yeah, I don't know, that could happen. Might not. I don't see this team being particularly amazing, and on the tier list, that'll reflect that. Alright, so GK on the tier list. Now, we're gonna go. Ooh, do I like them or SSG more? Look, I think like for the more proven nature of it, I'm just gonna sneak them over SSG for now. But yeah, I don't know. It could be like bad. It could be good. I don't know. You get a double feature because I can't be asked to find footage because there's fucking none. I've seen how long this video is getting, and I'll be honest, these teams don't interest me enough to talk about them enough. So FUT is actually a really fucking funny team, though. You have Frosty, who's been groomed, and is, from Scribbles' testimony, his girlfriend has impact on the way he plays and his career. So that'll be fun. You have Laugh, who is the manager of the team, who is a complete nut job and should absolutely be nowhere near a Rocket League team, but they keep him around probably because it's funny, and I have no actual objections to that. You have Sosa, who's on this team purely because of his ability to farm the Asia Pacific region. Very impressive, I know. And the best player is Cheese, and he came from Gen G, and that tells you all you need to know. And the coach is Adam Baguette, and Adam Baguette's just a chill guy. I don't really know what he's doing with them. Anyway, the more interesting team here is NIP. Now, I thought CRR actually had a really good split too, despite what the results may show. His teammates were He Who Shall Not Be Named and Frosty, who were kind of just mediocre. He was by far the best player and actually played really well at LCQ, despite losing to the likes of the boys, but I blame Frosty and He Who Shall Not Be Named for that. And Oli was really good on DK, but Dark Magic FC will be Dark Magic FC, and Eurus was really underrated on DNS FL. I mean, I did feel like he was probably, if you want to rank him for overall how they did across the season, he was probably their least important or weakest player, but he's still very consistent, very good. And yeah, I think they'll be good. I think they're being really underrated at the moment. And we come to our final tier list of the night or day or whenever you're watching this. And well, I'm excited to get this over done with because based on just past experience, rendering time and electricity required would be enough to bankrupt a small African nation. But hey, well, the sooner you get started, the sooner I can bankrupt my parents with the electricity bill for rendering this video. Anyway, so for D tier. But if it's a comedy ranking, then it's an easy S tier for FUT. Easy, not even a question, but it's D tier in terms of actually playing Rocket League. And NIP, I don't know, it's like, it could really go either way with NIP and SSG, but like, I'll give SSG the benefit of the doubt. They could be better. Actually, you know what, nah. Actually, no, I want to reveal to keep following me, so yeah, SSG can be better. And yeah, those are my thoughts. So like and subscribe. I'm going to be making a part 2 sometime soon, focusing on the minor regions. Well, basically just how MENA's going to dominate us all and we're all fucked. But yeah, like and subscribe for that. And that's been me.